Almost home, but first a quick stopover to one of Australia's closest neighbours, potentially settling nerves after unveiling the country's naval nuclear future.
Australia is investing in our capability, but we're also investing in our relationships.
Anthony Albanese meeting his Fijian counterpart.
We enjoy a unique relationship.
Sitiveni Rabuka, one of dozens of world leaders briefed ahead of the AUKUS announcement on the other side of the Pacific.
At the Kabuki show in San Diego.
Back home, a Labor luminary letting loose with his own assessment of Australia's partnership with the United States and United Kingdom.
For $360 billion, we're going to get 8 submarines. Right? It must be the worst deal in all history.
Our national interest demands that we do this.
The Defence Minister pointing to the massive military build-up in the Indo-Pacific over recent years, particularly by Beijing.
To not think about the nation's interests in the light of that is to be condemned by history.
China does not threaten Australia, has not threatened Australia, does not intend to threaten Australia.
It's not the benign world that he was living in the 90s. The world has changed considerably.
I think it's incumbent upon Richard Marles and others to come out today to rebuke the unhinged comments of Mr Keating.
The cost of preventing conflict, spending up to $368 billion on nuclear submarines, something for governments over the next 3 decades to deal with.
The growing defence budget is one of the pressures on the federal budget.
We need to fund AUKUS, but we don't need to cannibalise defence to do it.
The United States has briefed Chinese officials in both Washington and Beijing, while in Australia DFAT is doing the same in Canberra.
Australia's intent in acquiring this capability is to contribute to a stable, peaceful and prosperous region.
Running around the Pacific Islands with a lei around your neck handing out money, which is what Penny does, is not foreign policy.
Here in the Pacific, there is passionate and long-standing opposition to nuclear weapons, following the devastating results from decades of atomic testing. Australian officials are continuing to reassure the region that any leap into nuclear-powered submarines is not a breach of non-proliferation obligations. But that won't stop China trying to exploit any uneasiness with AUKUS. Andrew Green, ABC News, Nandi.